か超綺麗くね。
ました。兄様はソウルシンガーのヒップは素晴らしいって言ってた。
イエーイ、よろしく。イエーイ、プリプリコタブキ。
早速しよっか。
Since you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering what the heck a Gyaru even is. Well, dear dumb viewer, Gyaru is basically a Japanese slang for a gal, a nickname given to those who are part of or represent the Gyaru subculture. The term originated from the American jeans company Lee, who introduced the women's jeans line Gyaru in the 1970s. It then started being used to describe Gyaru fashion in Japan specifically. The term was and is also commonly used by and for teenage women known for being provocative and party-loving. The most common and critical part of a girl's appearance and fashion is tan skin, which is considered a must in most circles, along with the fake, long, decorated nails and heavy makeup, typically comprising of black eyeliner, fake eyelashes, and sometimes white eyeshadow. Due to this, the fashion is heavily westernized and used by youths as a form of rebellion against traditional Japanese dressing standard. The style was much more prominent in the 1970s, but its popularity peaked in the 1900s to early 2000s. Of course, the Gyaru culture, being as big and famous as it was, spawned its own slew of subcultures and styles, and well, this is where things get a bit strange. Gyaru is the most common subculture of Gyaru seen in many types of Japanese media. It is a term that generally defines Gyarus that dress in Japanese high school uniforms as a form of expression or way to represent the past Gyarus who wore them. The term Gyaru is closely related to Joshikose or JK in pop culture and the internet, which basically means a female high schooler. Gyarus representing this culture would shorten their uniform skirts to give them a more miniskirt appearance and wear loose socks from American brands. They also had dyed hair and decorated their high school bags and items with danglers and cosmetic products. Aside from being the most popular and exposed form of Gyaru, it is also the most sexualized, as some of you probably recall several scantily dressed high school Gyarus in ecchi anime or straight up hentai due to the even larger problem of fetishizing high school girls in Japan. It also didn't help that many of these Gyarus were claimed to have participated in several forms of prostitution, such as compensated dating, though some of these claims would go on to be debunked as mere stereotypes. It's also worth noting that the subculture is also used by teenage girls to rebel against gender norms and the patriarchy. Another fascinating subculture is the Gyaru Mama. These are Gyaru or young women who continued being Gyaru even after having children. They would also dress their children up in the same style as them, depending on the mother's personal style or which subculture she belonged to. Gyaru Cerebu or Celebrity Gyaru is the subculture of Gyarus that are either actual celebrities or Gyarus that aim to achieve this status by adopting the aesthetic to the point of becoming someone with celebrity status. These Gyaru try to replicate the whole look of celebrities known for their luxury clothing choices during the 1900s and 2000s, although those who participated in this substyle mostly started without celebrity status. Yamamba and Mamba are Gyaru styles that developed from the Ganguro style, which can be translated as the burnt black look and the dark tanning look. Like Ganguro, this style was often considered a joke and purposely unattractive, with some Gyarus even saying they liked the trend because it looked stupid. The fashion was known for being unclean or delinquent and was inspired by Japanese yokai bearing the same look. Another questionable and wild subculture is the Kuro Gyaru or the black-skinned girls. It is a substyle of Gyaru focusing on dark or tan skin and is considered to have come from the Ganguro style and became very prominent due to several popular groups in the scene. It's also an over-exaggeration of the Gyaru fashion that is expensive to maintain and dangerous to participate in due to its association with Gyaru groups that are run by pimps. So far, all the Gyaru variants I've mentioned are obviously very wacky if not questionable. However, none of them are as bad as the next Gyaru on this list, which is the one that partly inspired the making of this video. Gyaru is the style of Gyaru that is about rejecting the Japanese standards of beauty to instead become black. Yup. There are even types of Gyaru such as Rasuta Gyaru and Chocolate Gyaru. This type of subculture is straight up inappropriate, low-key racist, or maybe even high-key racist, let's be honest, and it's just black appropriation in a nutshell. However, many circles of the culture understandably reject and despise this subculture and claim it isn't a serious part of Gyaru culture, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. There are many more types of gyarus, a stupid amount in fact, so many that I can't begin to cover them all, because we'll be here forever. However, there are some subcultures and groups that I think deserve at least a short honorary mention. Gyaru is the male equivalent of gyarus. Like their female counterparts, they sport dark skin, gritty hairstyles, and a usually rough clothing style. They can often be seen around Shinjuku, listening to dance music like Eurobeat. Though not common, they are also usually seen as gang members or delinquents in media. There's also the princess gyarus that like to throw away reality by dressing themselves up in cute, expensive, and feminine clothing to LARP their favorite princesses. One Gyaru, or older sister Gyaru, are usually older Gyaru who have matured from the typical style but still want to be Gyaru. Instead of refusing or changing their style, they adapt to their age for a more sexy look. Ora Gyarus are biker/delinquent Gyarus. They're a lot more masculine than typical Gyarus, as they can often be seen sporting denim, tracksuits, tattoos, and piercings, and they're typically dropouts that belong in bad groups. Like most Gyarus, they don't really exist anymore. Finally, we have Gaijin Gyarus, which are basically foreigner Gyarus. This subculture exists outside Japan and is made up of several hardcore fans of the Gyaru culture, consisting of both men and women who participate in the fashion style. They are also very dedicated even today and can be seen in several online forums, magazines, meetings, and gatherings like anime conventions. Now, as you can probably tell from the questionable earlier parts of this video, the Gyaru culture has received its fair share of backlash, especially as many Japanese people don't like it very much. However, many of its criticisms are sort of valid, especially when considering the several recorded criminal cases, scandals, and aforementioned racial appropriation. But enough about that. Since this is a media-focused channel, it's time for the Gyaru and media appreciation segment of this video. As you already know, or can probably tell from the thumbnail, Gyarus are very prominent in media, but I want to highlight some of my favorite and questionable Gyarus that I've encountered. One of the most popular Gyarus these days is Marin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling. She has a pleasant, boisterous personality, is very fashion-oriented as a cosplayer, and just exudes best girl energy. Just ignore when she tans her skin a bit too much. We also have Junko Enoshima, the deranged psychopath mastermind of the Danganronpa series, who is as aesthetically eye-catching as she is insane. There's also Yuzu Aihara from Citrus, the probably only gay girl on this list that's quite feminine, intelligent, and has an infectious personality. She's also not tanned. Another great girl in anime that was kinda overlooked was Akari Watanabe from the More Than a Married Couple anime. She's another character that isn't tanned, is as fashionable as she is feminine, incredibly confident, and especially very vocal and affectionate, which is always nice in a character. Another cool girl from video games is Yuka Ayase from the first Persona game. She's a shallow character who's kind of an asshole, doesn't care much for people, complains a lot, uses a lot of Gyaru slang, and is overall just unpleasant to be around, but at least she's not tanned. Now for the more questionable Gyarus in media. The Lord of Pastimers is an anime character from Asobi Asobase that has a bizarre appearance that is immediately noticeable upon her arrival on screen. Though her appearance is not uncommon as you'd think, as her style falls under the Agejo Gyaru subculture. And while she has a bad reputation based on typical stereotypes, she's actually more intelligent than she looks. Another extreme and maybe racially motivated example can be seen in the Gals and Super Gals anime and manga, one of the signature pieces of media representing the Gyaru culture. The anime features several Gyarus of varying types, including tanned Gyarus, which the main character Ran frequently antagonizes and finds inferior to non-tanned girls. Many girls in this series are depicted with extremely dark skin and exaggerated lips. There is even a character named Tatsuki Kuroi, a male Gyaru who looks like the tanned girls and is nicknamed Monkey for some reason. Questionable characters aside, despite its massive decline over the years, the Gyaru culture is such a well-known part of pop culture that Gyarus can be seen in all facets of media outside the otaku circle. But I personally don't know any outside the circles, so if you do, feel free to comment down below if anyone's ever made it this far. Is anyone even watching? Yeah. But it's also fair to note that despite its decline in popularity, the culture was and is still filled with many passionate people who are crazy about their crafts and fashion and express it the best way they can, regardless of how strange or bizarre their appearance may be. The subculture is also a medium used by many to not only freely express themselves but strengthen their ideals through rebellion via fashion, which is at the very least respectable if nothing else. So in conclusion, are Gyarus racist? I mean, they can be. Thanks for watching this weird ass video. If you liked it, press the like button and subscribe, and if not, comment why you hate me below. Till the next one.